So I've been thinking a lot lately about how my social media networks, which are chosen by me and by the Facebook algorithms, right, that serves up the kind of content that ostensibly I want to look at and read, how possibly that is becoming a source of keeping me thinking small. And I'm always after, thinking about how can I help myself to be free of the things that keep me from having what I want, and then how can I go and teach those things. And I was listening to this book called The Hive Mind, and she was talking about, it's super interesting, how, 30 years ago when we watched TV, there were only 4 channels and there were only a few newspapers that you had to buy yourself, and how that actually created a lot more diversity in the kind of things that we were talking about, where you had to watch them real time. She references like watching, MASH and Mork and Mindy and Three's Company or whatever it is that you're watching, but we had to watch them at the same time, so we had to talk about it. But also that at that time news was potentially more objective. But now we are able to really curate the information that we get from the sources that we want to get it from, which obviously have an inherent bias. And also from the groups that we associate with online are also curated by us and by the algorithms of the social media platforms that we participate in by serving those things up, which I'm starting to wonder how that influences like being small-minded or big-minded. And I'm always trying to figure out, how do we expand and how do we think beyond what we think is possible? How do we do what's not possible? And the only way to do that is to sort of start thinking outside of the safety of the confines of our normal circles. And how this applies to the work around women's health, I think, is really important because I've been talking to women so much lately about their health and about what's possible and how PMS and cramping aren't normal. And we have created such a powerful and huge infrastructure around that it's actually not possible to change your period, to change your PMS and cramping without pharmaceuticals or surgery. And that conversation is so deeply embedded in our culture, both from men and women and practically everyone, that it's keeping women from having access to solutions that can make them feel a lot better and ostensibly then have access to greater power and agency to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And so what I'm going to try to do, and I want to challenge you to try to do, is to find a Facebook group that is outside of your comfort zone, that's talking about things that typically you wouldn't agree with, and just spend some time thinking about things from a completely different perspective. And I would love it if you would share your experience. Share a video below. You can DM me on Twitter at Kirsten Karch, or right below here on Facebook. Email me, whatever. But I would love to hear your experiments and what's happening, what you're learning, how you're stretching yourself, and what difference it's making for you. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.